how should we think about, you know, uh, working through these partnerships in such a way where it's not just checking the compliance box on, yes, I've got data security and that's it. Um, you know, what what would you share with our audience on, how they should think through this piece and some of the challenges?
Yeah, so it's a great question, Don. So it's highly unlikely that most companies will have the resources to build a true production scale
Right.
AI capability from the ground up. So where does that leave us? That gets back to your point, Don, where you're more than likely going to be using a suite of tooling, and that's where there's several key risks and pitfalls that we thought would be a good idea to talk to everyone here about. So one thing that we see quite often is a little bit of a bait and switch. So you're interviewing partners, you're doing a POC, maybe you're building some on your side, you're doing an API call out to an AI service, for input into part of your process. Said AI vendor comes back and says, yeah, we can do this. Here's the results. Two things to keep in mind there. Did they generate those results in a time effective and performant way? In other words, when you start hooking up production volume to this, are you going to get that answer back in less than 5 seconds, for example? Secondly, what AI tooling and models on the back end did they use to generate that result? Because what they used to give you POC results, which look amazing, may have been using like Anthropic Claude Fable 5, for example. And they can afford to do that for a few transactions as a show you type of thing for a POC. But once they productionize it, the Fable 5 model serving 100,000 transactions a day is not going to be economical to you as a customer. And so you really need to ask the question about, what models did you use on the back end to produce these results?